Morning, men. Hope we're well and off to finish the week with some wins. I just want to dive in this morning and just talk about triggers and patience. You know, it was very interesting this morning when we're making eggs, doing a cheesy omelette for the squids, and there's the old Italian jersey behind me, bloody wogs. That was the last jersey I ever wore. Career was completely shattered and torn to pieces playing over in Serbia. I'll tell you right now, just before I dive into patience and triggers, never felt more alone in my life than being halfway around the world in a foreign country, in a hospital on my own, big white dude, little short footy shorts, everyone's staring at him, no one spoke English, my shoulder was torn to pieces, completely dislocated. Contract with Souths got torn apart, obviously, and gone. Last game I ever played 5 test matches for Italy, and we ended up making the World Cup. That was in 2011. That was a World Cup qualifier. We made it, but that was the last jersey I ever wore, with my shoulder being torn apart. Look back now, it was a very, very traumatic period of my life. Like I said, halfway around the world, couldn't call anyone, no one spoke English, I'm in the hospital, shoulder was still dislocated. They're giving me these needles to try and numb the pain, was doing nothing, and it was very tough. So that's good symbolism. I've got that in the office here, just of where you've come from. And that's what it's about, fellas. Where are you coming from? Not where have you been, where have you come from? Because where you come from gives you the language and the linguistics and perspective to look back and go, this is where I've come from, because I'm actually better than I was yesterday. But diving into the point of this video, patience and triggers this morning, making brekkie with the girls. Stella wanted to bring the chair across. The wife was still sleeping. I was up with the kids early, all 3 of them, so I'm nursing Roman, holding Lillian, trying to organise these cheesy omelettes, and it was crazy. You know, Stella's dragging the chair, and you know what it's like when you drag a chair. Well, we've got tiles, it's just screeching. And then Corinne, my wife, her dress is on there, so it's all crinkled, and she's pulling. I said, hey, put it back. And Lillian's breaking the eggs. There's shit everywhere. And it was fascinating because Stella didn't fix the dress up. Then she went to drag the chair even after I told her. And then I told her to fix the dress up again and put the chair back. We've already got a chair here, you can jump on with Lillian. And then she just wasn't listening. Same with Lillian, wasn't listening. And I was starting to feel, as you guys know, right? Well, it's not like we're here to command authoritarians to everyone, but you know what it's like. Sharing something, you know the A to B, you can execute quite well because it's your children, right? You got better competency and performance than them at that stage of life. So you're like, it's this frustration builds up, it should be done. This is what we do. We get triggered because we create expectations of how something should be without understanding that, hey, they're not at your level and maybe they're wired in a different way at this stage of life. Like 2 young girls, they're my daughters, and they're not, a man who knows how to make a cheesy omelette and how to carry a chair and has the perception and awareness that the wife will wake up if you're screeching the chair. That's the dress she's putting on for the day. So if you're grabbing it with all your grubby fingers and you're not putting it up, it'll be crinkled, it'll be dirty. All this stuff, right? We just assume that they should know this. They're kids. But this is the point with a lot of you guys, and I want you to think about this with your triggers. G'day, Grant, hope you're well, mate. Rod, hope you're well. When we're looking at this, so many areas in your life, you are repetitive in what you do. And this is why we get triggered. This is where patience is powerful. I'm telling you right now, man, patience brings influence, it brings power, it brings control. Not over others, but through yourself so you can have influence and power, and really this equals leadership. So when we're looking at this, Stella wasn't listening, Lillian wasn't listening. I'm trying to nurse Rome because he wants to be held. He's a mummy's boy and a daddy's boy. And I'm like, man, I can see this is boiling up. I'm getting this feeling, I feel like I'm about to play a footy game. And I'm like, hang on a minute, just stop. Where in the world did we go wrong thinking? And it is wrong in my perspective. There is no right and wrong if you continually adjust and improve your position. But for this point in time, if I boiled over and I was triggered, that's the wrong move. It's like killing the goose for the golden eggs. Leave it, I'll make the eggs, you sit down, right? And we're just pointing. Just do this, do this, do that. Just like when I see them run up and they want to jump in a puddle and I pull them all, I don't do that. I know that there's going to be a bit of mud, bit of mess. It's an experience. Like kids are experimenting, they're exploring. This is what life is, fellas. It's search and discovery, not search and destroy. So we got to be cautious that we're not taking these experiences away from our children. But more importantly, what's the kind of framework and steel you have inside of yourself? So here we are, I'm getting triggered. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. Because I know Corinne needs sleep and their responsibilities, what they need to do. They've got their schedule for the day. We can't be late there. I've got what I need to do. Come in here and help and go out and hunt life with other men and help men on their journey. And it's like, well, hang on a minute. Why do you think it should be a one and done with your children now? And this is the thing. When you ask yourself quality questions, fellas, you start to find the real answers, not the triggered answers, not the ego, not the assumptions, not the expectations that bring us all unstuck. They bring you undone. They really do. So I started asking questions. Why am I getting so triggered with this? So what? A bit of egg spills on the floor. Who cares? And so what? Stella makes a bit of sound. Corinne might wake up. You know what? She might be awake anyway. Who knows? She might just be resting her eyes. Okay, the dress. All right, we can fix that. What's the issue here? And then I looked at it, I was like, well, hang on a minute. There are thousands of reps that I do every day in business, in my personal life, with my work, with the coaches, with the members. There are so many times when I'm actually repeating the same thing, doing the same thing. So why am I getting frustrated that I have to repeat myself to Stella or to Lillian or even to Roman as he's starting to learn and explore and discover things and learn language and how to communicate better? It holds no footing on the frustrations that come into play, which ultimately, who loses most? I'm festering and I'm having these feelings and these emotions build up where they don't need to. When I'm in the gym, like, I don't just do one clean and jerk and go, well, that's it, I should have muscles now, and have this expectation or assumption that doing one rep, one thing means that I should have the result and that's it. Same with our children, right? They're just some food for thought, and I'd love to get your revelations, takeaways, or comments below in the comment section, fellas. Like, where do you feel like you get triggered where you need to analyze yourself better, or where are situations where you've been triggered but you've pulled back and instead of reacting, you've actually responded correctly for yourself, for your family, and then you've created a better experience, you've created a better environment, you've created a better level of leadership. Like, when we're looking at these, better or worse, it's really from the version of who we are, but a better level of leadership inside of who you continue to become. Because for me, I didn't get triggered, I didn't lose my stack. I actually pulled back and was like, Stella, it's okay, leave that there. Come to Daddy. You can stand on this one. Lillian, that's okay. Daddy will get another egg. That's all right. We'll use 5 eggs to make a 2-egg omelette. That's all right. But this is it, right? And this is why I love the gift of giving, the love language, all the different things that come with patience and not being triggered. Just like road rage, just like some of the ads that I run that I cop flack on. I'm like, man, there are people in Western Australia, they're thousands of kilometres away, and I am inadvertently controlling and influencing their emotions. Like, they're forfeiting their control to me in a negative light. Like, that's pretty scary, right? Like, you're getting triggered. And school lockdowns, like, you're getting triggered and you're letting other things, whether it's your internal environment that festers this or the external measures of your family, or even outside of that, someone cuts you off on the road, they may not even know, and you're letting them literally control and influence you. That's a crazy thing. Don't use your free will to forfeit your free will. Be very cautious of that. So the big takeaway for me was like, well, you know what? I've done tens of thousands of reps. I've trained for 23 years in the gym. I've done tens of thousands of reps in gym. I've done 4,000 videos. So I'd be very surprised if I couldn't deliver the right message and communicate and connect with you guys right here and now at a level and standard that I believe is at the top. 4,000 videos in the last 2 years. I've done thousands of reps in so many different areas, just like you have. So what changes with our children, right? They're one of the greatest investments in life, where really the ROI is a reflection of who we turn up as inside of ourselves, as leaders for ourselves, first and foremost, which we carry through to our family. It's incredible, isn't it? Nothing connects us more, men. It's why fatherhood, hardest but greatest thing ever. It is the greatest investment in something that is directly connected to you, but is actually outside of yourself. What a phenomenal opportunity. What a phenomenal journey we can have. You can't have that if you don't put the reps in, if you're not willing to put the reps in. And you know what? Yes, it's frustrating. It's frustrating when we're tired, we get triggered easily, when the day's done, or in the morning, or we need to find our balance again, or we don't invest in ourselves, so we don't realign with what we need to do, we don't give back to ourselves first. So we're on edge, we're not centering ourselves first, like my other video, creating space and taking time out and building stability, which leads to that, but no one will win if you end up being triggered and you don't learn patience. Understand that life is reps. And that's an acronym we have as one of our principles, which is resilience. In all that you do, overcome things quickly. Persistence, play the long game. Excellence, which is the middle, that's the E. So everything you do, strive for a higher standard. And S equals success, which you will have. Resilience, excellence, persistence, you will get success. But life is about reps. So don't be afraid. Don't be someone who thinks that they're the problem, because you've got to put repetitions into your children, because it will take thousands of reps. Just like the golfer's swing, just like the cricket bat, just like the tennis racket, it's thousands. All sports, all areas of life. Life is skill sets. That's all it is. 99% of life is actually skill acquisition and reinforcement and consistency of that. Don't cut it short with your children as well. Take care, men. Have an amazing day. Patience, virtue, whatever that means to you. Patience is a virtue. Yeah, cool, awesome, good for you. But understand the value it can hold in you, in your internal frame, your power, your leadership, and know that, you know what, yes, you do need to do reps. You will need to do thousands and thousands of reps with your children. Don't be disheartened. They're learning and finding their way in the world too. Take care, men. Have an amazing day.